Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu salam ala Rasulullah. We continue reading from Imam Al-Ghazali's On Disciplining the Soul, Kitab Riyadat al-Nafs, translated by Timothy Winter, Abdul Hakim Murad. Jazakallah khairan. We are on page 55 of the translation, an exposition of evidence handed down from men of spiritual insight and provided in the law to the effect that the way to cure the disease of the heart is by renouncing one's desires, and that the stuff of such diseases is following desires. بيان شواهد النقل من أرباب البصائر وشواهد الشرع على أن الطريقة في معالجة أمراض القلب ترك الشهوات وأن مادة أمراضها هي اتباع الشهوات. Imam Raza rahimahullah said, know that should you contemplate what we have said above with an eye ready to draw lessons, your inner sight will be opened, and the diseases and remedies of hearts will be unveiled to you through the light of knowledge and certitude. If, however, you are not capable of this, you should nevertheless not fail to believe and have faith through learning and the imitation of those who deserve to be imitated. And I would basically Imam Ghazali's statement وَالتَّقْلِيدُ لِمَنْ يَسْتَحِقُّ التَّقْلِيد. Who to imitate? People might be drawn to extreme positions, to that might appeal to something in their hearts, in their brains, in their psyche, and people who might appear, if they are popular, definitely that will, one way or the other, people could be popular and still they don't deserve to be imitated, and people should pay attention. This is really a big issue, and yes, we avoid extremism, avoid people who build their reputation on rendering others as kuffar. If someone is really not leaving anyone alone, scholars of the past, scholars of the present, that he is the ultimate, that he represents the ultimate truth, one should have a big question mark in this respect. There might be a lot of narcissism in the picture, but in order to choose someone who deserves to be imitated, look into the character. Is it about money? Is it about fame? Does he contradict himself? Does he break the law openly? Is it that he does not subscribe to any school? It doesn't mean that if you subscribe to a school, you don't venture out of the school. Imam Al-Ghazali, I keep giving this example, when he discussed the minimum amount of water that remains pure for purification, طاهر مطهر. If some impurity falls into the water, he said, follow the madhab Imam Malik rahimahullah, follow the school of jurisprudence of Imam Malik. He said because it's obviously because it allows lesser water to remain pure, meaning that compared to the school of Imam Malik, the Shafi'i school would be a little bit tough to follow, and he mentioned the reason why he's adopting that position, like telling people go and follow the madhab Imam Malik, without abandoning the school of of Shafi'i rahimahullah. He said, because water is scarce. That's one thing. So is this person open? Not open in the sense of doing the wrong things or subscribing to the wrong worldview, or no, but it's the does he allow room for the possibility that the other school, the other person could be correct. At any rate, this is a very important issue, and definitely simply roaming all over the internet and accepting, everything that exists there is entails risk to one's uh, faith. At least entails it is detrimental to one's moral standing. I was doing some research on Imam Al-Ghazali, and I came on archive.org. I came across someone who declares Imam Al-Ghazali uh, as kafir and fasiq, and he's all these he's listed these definitely false adjectives. And he mentioned one of the reasons is that Imam Ghazali spoke about about the mysteries of fasting, because he spoke about the fasting of al-awam, and he spoke about صوم العموم صوم الخصوص صوم خصوص الخصوص, and there's nothing wrong. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with this, and I don't know of any scholar ever in the history of scholarship after Imam Ghazali. I did not read everything, but if there is some criticism, I would have read that no one criticized this, because even in the we know it from, it's an essential concept that some people simply they stay thirsty and hungry throughout the day, but they would not refrain from gossip, from backbiting, from false witnessing, from foul language, etc. So they don't really control their organs, the eyes, the ears, the tongue, but the hands and the legs, and ultimately everything in khusus al-khusus. That's really the heart abstaining from everything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or that which falls into this category, serving the ummah, serving, etc. So yes, choosing the right person to imitate, if one is in that category. So again, however, if you are not capable of this, you should nevertheless not fail to believe and have faith through learning and through imitation of those who deserve to be imitated. For faith and knowledge are 2 degrees, and the latter occurs after the advent of faith and comes subsequently to it. God exalted, He has said, God exalts those among you that have faith and those that have knowledge to high ranks. يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات. Thus whosoever believes that the path to God subhanahu wa ta'ala lies in resisting his desires, but has not grasped the cause and secret of this, is among those that have faith, while he who learns the profundities and secrets of these desires becomes one of those that have knowledge, and God has promised the best to both. وَكُلًّا وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الْحُسْنَى. the text of the Quran, the Sunnah, and the statements of the scholars which demand that one credit this thing are innumerable. God subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken of he who restrains his soul from its whims. For him, heaven is the place of resort. ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى. And he has said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are those whose hearts God hath proven unto piety. أولئك الذين امتحن الله قلوبهم للتقوى. The meaning of which is said to be, he divested them of love of their desires. قيل نزع منها محبة الشهوات. The emissary of God sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the believer, this hadith has a weak chain of narrators, but do consider the meaning. These categories here, the five categories. The believer is beset with five afflictions: a believer who envies him, a hypocrite who hates him, an unbeliever who makes war on him, a devil who misguides him, and a soul which struggles against him. Now, is any of these five categories, these five tests, calamities, is it impossible? Does it mean that it's non-existent? No. All these five sources of like it's the antagonist, let's say. I would say that 4 from outside and 1 from the inside. So the believer who envies him, and the Imam Ghazali elsewhere he speaks about envy. It really it consumes the other person. It consumes that person who envies the envier, a hypocrite who hates him, who double-faced but does not harbor good feelings, the unbeliever who makes war on him, and we try to reach out. We have how much time I have invested in responding and critiquing Samuel Huntington's The Clash of Civilization, to the degree that I have developed a graduate course, and I've looked into the various literature of modern contemporary Muslim scholars and thinkers who subscribe to a worldview where dialogue is essential, that yes, it's possible to reach convivencia, coexistence, etc. And convivencia is originally an Islamic paradigm that existed in Spain and elsewhere, in Andalusia, in Muslim Spain. So we do reach out, we do invest time and effort in reaching out. But this the one should not be naive. This colonization, this hegemony of the West and their agents, all this should stop. We are not naive. Yes, there are good people out there, non-Muslims, who I believe that they have good intentions, They do side with the underdog. They would like to foster relations that are based on respect. They are humble, etc. But ultimately, as I have been saying for the last few weeks, we need justice, and I have said that justice and peace are twins, except that justice was born a minute before peace, meaning that it's a prerequisite for peace. We need it. It cannot talking about peace cannot be a lip service. And people talk today about security much more than they talk about justice. In fact, rarely they do so. So for the afflictions from the outside, and one challenge is from the inside, the soul that struggles against him. You would like to do something good, and your soul drives you in a different direction. You would like to do charity, and your soul is still not doesn't like that act of charity. You'd like to pray at night, and your soul drives you to watch TV or whatever is the, even if it's something permissible, mubah, but it's not really like it will distract you. Okay. He thus explained that the soul is an enemy which struggles with one and which must be fought. And in fact, it's a daily fight between good and evil, and one's heart is the battleground between the soldiers of the angels and the soldiers of Satan. It's a daily thing, and meaning that it's day and night, really. It is said that God subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to David alayhi salam, O David, warn and caution your companions about indulging in desires. For hearts which are attached to worldly desires are veiled from me. It's the attachment to worldly desires. It is serving the desires. I mean, the desires are there for a good reason. Let's say if it's really an intimate relationship that is halal, wholesome, there is something, an ulterior motive, procreation. And now in the West, they many countries they fail to keep the demographic numbers as is, in the sense of had women give birth to two children, then that would maintain the population. If it's more than two, for example 2.1, there will be an increase. If it's less than two, today it stands at about 1.2. They are not reproducing themselves, and this opens the Pandora box. It means that they have to open the door for immigration, and then the Islamophobes and all that you see in the media today. So desires could be controlled in a sense. They could be. One could see what's behind. What's beyond. Even the intimate relationship itself is it's considered a good deed. Literally, it's a source of hasanat, because those who do it, like they commit adultery, and in that which is haram, they gain sayyat. It is, rather than sinning, you are doing something wholesome within the realm of the law. The companions were puzzled by this, but yes, the Prophet explained, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Jesus. So after Dawud alayhi salam, and now it's the about Jesus Christ upon him. He said, "Blessed is he who renounces a present desire for the sake of something promised, which he has not beheld." But doesn't mean that you go against your own nature. And our Prophet ﷺ, said to some people who had just returned from the jihad, really here, the jihad in the sense of qital. And let's always remember that it's a Venn diagram where one side is qital and one side is jihad. And the area between them in the Venn diagram, the common area, means that the qital is jihad, but also it means that some qital is not jihad and some jihad is not qital, which explains the second part of the hadith. You have come from the lesser to the you have come from the lesser to the greater jihad. Mil jihad al-asghar, jihad al-akbar. O Messenger of God, he was asked, and what is the greater jihad? He said, the jihad against the soul. He replied. This hadith was rendered sahih by Ibn Majah. The spiritual struggle, while most Muslims will never be engaged in the lesser jihad, just explaining the hadith a little bit more. Most Muslims will never be in a state of qital. All Muslims would go through the greater jihad. So the lesser one, most will never be part of that story. The greater jihad against one's whims and desires, and all Muslims in the sense that you cannot avoid struggling against evil, against one's soul, against the nafs al-amara bisu. And he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the real mujahid is he who that wars with himself for the sake of God, subhanahu wa ta'ala. This the second one, Imam al-Iraqi said that he could not find it, so it might not be a hadith at all. And he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, refrain from harming your own soul and follow not its whims into the disobedience of God, lest it dispute with you on the day of arising, on the day of resurrection, so that one part of you curses another, and as God subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you his forgiveness and protection. So let's basically go over the Al-Mujahid man jahad nafsah. The one before this is the one that was verified by Imam Tirmidhi in a hadith, and it was rendered sahih by Ibn Majah from a hadith narrated by Fudal ibn Ubayd. The first one about the Jihad al-Azhar and Jihad al-Akbar, this is has been verified by Imam Bayhaqi in his book on Zuhd. And the last one, is the one that is that Imam al-Iraqi said that he could not find it. The one that says, refrain from harming your own soul and follow not its whims into the disobedience of God, lest it dispute with you on the day of arising, so that one part of you curses another, unless God subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you his forgiveness and protection. Now we move to the الآثار. If you will, the first one is from Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah. Never have I dealt with anything more difficult than my soul, which sometimes helps me and sometimes opposes me. ما عالجت شيئا أشد علي من نفسي مرة لي ومرة علي. So sometimes he wins, sometimes it wins. Abu al-Abbas al-Musili used to say to his soul, O soul, neither do you revel in the world with the sons of kings, nor do you struggle for the afterlife with the ascetics. It is as though you had imprisoned me between heaven and hell. O soul, are you not ashamed? يا نفس لا في الدنيا مع أبناء الملوك تتنعمين ولا في طلب الآخر مع العباد تجتهدين كأني بك بين الجنة والنار تحبسين يا نفس ألا تسهين. So neither, as we say generally, لا دين ولا دنيا. لا دين ولا دنيا. Al-Hasan said, and this would be Al-Hasan al-Basri if it's mentioned just like this, without any other qualification. In general, it's going to be Al-Hasan al-Basri. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa'alam. He said, an unruly riding beast, untamed, unruly riding beast is in no greater need of a strong brother than is your soul. ما الدابة الجموح بأحوج اللجام الشديد من نفسك. So you need to hold your soul, or you need to control your soul. You need to put your soul on a leash. It should never be left to roam freely, to do whatever it wants, and one should not really feed it in that sense. Should not, because one way of controlling an unruly animal, such as is described here, riding beast, is sometimes to give it less food. Inshallah, in the next session, we'll begin with this statement of Yahya bin Mu'adh al-Razi. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.